Consider the following statements. The governor of a state is not answerable to any court for the exercise of duties of his or her office. The criminal proceeding shall not be instituted against the governor of a state in any court during his or her term of office. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act facilitated for the appointing same person as the governor for more than one state, and we have to find out the not correct answer here. See the options number. So statement number 1 and 2 are exceptions to Article 14, that is right to equality. Why? Because the president as well as governor is given certain kind of immunities or exceptions to right to equality or equality before law. Among that, it is true that the governor is not answerable to any court, or the president of India is also not answerable to any court for the exercise of duties of his or her office. That's a correct statement. In criminal proceedings shall not be instituted against the governor or the president for any court during his or her term of office. That is also a correct statement. But see why third is wrong? Because it was not 42nd Amendment Act, it was the 7th Constitutional Amendment Act, which made a provision that the same person can be appointed as a governor for more than one state, not an issue. So 3 is the wrong statement here, and since we have to find the non-correct one, answer becomes option C, that is 3 only. Okay. Next one, the powers. The powers of Supreme Court under Article 32 can be amended by the Parliament using simple majority, special majority of Parliament alone, special majority of the Parliament, and ratification of states cannot be amended. See, please take care that Article 30, that is powers of Supreme Court under Article 32 as well as powers of High Court under Article 226 is a part of what? Basic structure doctrine. That is, it cannot be amended by the Parliament even if it has a required majority. No. Because why? Because these powers of Supreme Court as well as High Court is a part of basic structure, and hence the Parliament has limited power to amend those provisions. Clear? So those provisions cannot be amended. But the powers of Supreme Court, High Court can be enlarged by the Parliament through an act, not an issue. Also, these powers under Article 32 or the enforcement of these kind of fundamental rights can be suspended during the emergency by a presidential order. I repeat once again, these provisions cannot be amended, but the enforcement of fundamental rights under Article 32 can be suspended during the time of emergency by an order of the president, but the things cannot be amended by the Parliament. So answer becomes option D, that is cannot be amended. Next one, consider the following statements regarding federation and confederation. A confederation is a union of sovereign units or states united for some common objectives, whereas a federation is a group of units with a central government and is independent in its internal affairs. Okay. The confederation is a sovereign body, unlike federation, where the units are sovereign. Each unit has the right to secede from the confederation. So here you must note on what is a confederation as well as a federation. Confederation means an association of various countries or association of various sovereign nations. Why? To achieve a common objective. To achieve a common objective, various countries come together. That is what my confederation. We can call United Nations as a common confederation, or we can also call Commonwealth of Nations. We can also call it also as a confederation. So what happened in case of United Nations? In case of United Nations, that is a confederation, it is not the UN which is sovereign, no, but the independent countries are sovereign. India is sovereign, USA is sovereign, China is sovereign, Pakistan is sovereign. In case of a confederation, the units are sovereign. But in case of a federal setup, the federation is sovereign. Say in case of India, whether a state of Kerala or state of Maharashtra is sovereign, no. At least the central, the Indian government is sovereign. So in case of a federation, the federation is sovereign, and in case of a confederation, each individual units are sovereign there. Clear? Again, in case of a confederation, say example UN, the units are free to move away from that federal confederation. I repeat once again, in a confederation, say example United Nations, India, that is a unit, or China, which is a unit, has the right to break away from the confederation. And generally in a federal setup, say example India, the state, here the state is a unit. That state has no right to secede from the federation. So note down all these things. Clear? Now move on to the statement. A confederation is a union of sovereign units. Correct statement. Say example United Nations, it's a confederation, and India is a unit, and there India is sovereign. Or states united for some common objectives, correct. Whereas a federation is a group of units with central government, fine, and is independent in its internal affairs. That is also a fine statement. So one is a correct statement here. The confederation is a sovereign body unlike federation. No, the confederation is not a sovereign body, but here the federation is only a sovereign body. So 2 is a wrong statement. Each unit has the right to secede from the confederation. Yes, from a confederation, a country can break away, not an issue. India can move from United Nations, not an issue. India can move from World Trade Organization, not an issue. India can move from Commonwealth of Nations also, that is also not an issue. That rights is given to each individual sovereign unit. Clear? So here 2 is a wrong statement, 1 and 3 are the right statements here. So answer becomes option C, that is 1 and 3 only. Clear? Select the correctly matched pair regarding the powers or provisions related to the President of India. Article 61 impeachment procedure, Article 72 pardon power, Article 111 assent to the bills, Article 123 seeking opinion from the Supreme Court. Select the correct answer using the code below. See here the impeachment procedure is mentioned in the Article 61, that's a fine statement. The pardoning powers of presidents, power to pardon, commute, reprieve, respite, all these things comes under Article 72 of the Constitution, that's also a fine statement. And the powers of the President of India, when a bill is present to him for the assent, there's various veto powers, that is mentioned in Article 111 of the Constitution. So 1, 2 and 3 are correct here, answer is option C. Okay, why not option 4? That is, Article 123 is regarding ordinance making power. Article 123 is regarding ordinance making power of the President of India only, that's why 4 is made wrong. And seeking opinion from the Supreme Court, that comes under Article 143 of the Constitution. So whenever you prepare your polity classes, please note down those important article number and all those important constitutional amendments and all those important Supreme Court verdicts and also the important committee recommendations which was dealt under these classes. Please go through that thoroughly. Why? Because the classes, the topics or these articles amendments discussed under our class during our class times is very much important for from exam perspective for both prelims as well as mains. So please study all these article numbers, constitutional amendments, then Supreme Court verdicts as well as committee recommendations. You need not study all these articles under Constitution, no. You need not study all those amendments, no. You need not study all those Supreme Court verdicts, no. But the things which we have dealt under our classes, please go through that thoroughly. From that you can easily attend and score more number of marks. So answer to this question is option C, that is 1, 2 and 3 only. Which among the following is or are the features of parliamentary form of government in the United Kingdom? The Prime Minister must be a member of House of Commons, membership of ministers in the legislature, dissolution of House of Lords. Prime Minister is the real head of the government. So regarding a Prime Minister form of government or a parliamentary form of government, there are various kind of features. Why? Because we have dual executive, that is, executives are also part of legislature. This shows that, and also normally the ministers can from either house of the parliament. But in case of USA, there is a convention that the Prime Minister must be a member of lower house, or in case of them it is called House of Commons. But see, even though India took the provision of parliamentary form of government from the UK, but still we have made some changes. In case of ours, the Prime Minister can be member of either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, not an issue. But in case of UK, the Prime Minister must be a member from the lower house itself. Clear? So one is a correct statement. Membership of ministers in the legislature, I said they have, in parliamentary form we have dual executive. That is, ministers are also members of legislature. So 2 is also a correct statement. 3, dissolution of House of Lords. House of Lords means The upper house, that is similar to Rajya Sabha in India. House of Commons means lower house. They are similar to Lok Sabha in India. See, in a parliamentary form of government, only lower house can be dissolved. So in case of UK, the House of Commons only can be dissolved. House of Lords cannot be dissolved. So 3 is a wrong statement. So 3 should not be there in our answer. So A can be eliminated, D can be eliminated. So B and C automatically says that 4 is a correct, 2 is also correct. And we came to conclusion that 1 is also a correct one. So answer becomes option C, that is 1, 2 and 4. That is the Prime Minister is the real head of government. That is also a correct statement only. The Prime Minister is the real head. President, or in case UK, the monarch is a nominal head. Clear? Answer is option C, that is 1, 2 and 4. The ideal of having an elected head of state can be best explained as an exercise in democratic government, federal government, republican government, autocratic government. So what does the head of state is elected mean? That is that a country is republic. The term republic means, again, the head of state is elected either directly or indirectly. That is the meaning given there. Okay, see UK is not a republic country. Why? Because in case of UK, the head of state is not an elected office. They are having a hereditary position. But in case of India is a republic country. Why? Because our head of state, that is the President of India, is an elected office, but indirectly by the people. Clear? So the head of state or having elected head of state means having a kind of republican government. So answer is option C to this question. Okay.